Welcome back to Bale & Wire's Old Iron. Well, it's been a while. I've had a lot going on. Had some health stuff going on too. Got that all taken care of. Doing pretty good right now. But just had, between health and life, just had too much going on to really have much shop time, let alone be able to have any video time. In the last 2 weeks, maybe 3, I've had a little shop time on the weekends, and I've spent that trying to get this place straightened up so I can get something done. So I've got tons of stuff that I need to be getting on and getting done and getting going. Speaking of which, so my last video, which was been a while back, we made it. We made it over 1,000 subscribers, and actually I think now that I've got almost 1,300, which is great. We still got a ways to go where I want to be, but it is what it is. So, and I promised you all that once we got to 1,000 subscribers, we do a giveaway on this creeper right here. So, what I needed you to do is, if anybody that is subscribed that would be interested in this creeper, please leave a comment. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a pick out of the comments. I had to do some investigation how to make all this work, and I can do that with the program where I go in and it'll pick somebody random out of the comments. So if you're subscribed, please leave me a comment and just say you're subscribed. We'll verify that and we'll have you in the drawing for this creeper. So yeah, just leave me a note and say, yes, I would like your creeper. And during the next video, which I'm hoping won't be too far out, I think that this one, I should have, I'm trying to shoot for every other week. I don't think I can do every week yet. I still have a full-time job, so if we can do a video every other week, that's probably what I'm going to try to do. And then maybe once a week, but then maybe some shorter videos, and I may start getting some shorts back out there now that I'm back to where I can kind of get going. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take you around the shop. And for those of you watching this video that are new and don't know much, you can kind of see what I'm all about. But I've got my shop finally set up. I just really had to clean up from all last summer and fall because I never really stopped and took any time to get anything straightened out. So I've got a couple of projects in here right now, and I'll explain what's going on with them and where we're going. In this video, I'm going to be getting back on this rat rod. I haven't worked on this rat rod for, oh gosh, I would say almost 4 years, maybe longer. But this is one rig that I'm wanting to get on the road. There's not a lot to do. I've got most all the parts for it. I just need to get on it and get it together and make it happen. So let me go ahead and kind of take you around the shop, and I'll show you what all we've got going on. And Hoffa's one of them, and you guys are actually sitting on the hood of Jimmy Hoffa right now. So I'm going to kind of do a little walk around Jimmy Hoffa, and I'm going to show you what's coming up with Jimmy Hoffa here really soon. I've got this rat rod kind of where it belongs, and Hoffa, I'm going to get this rat rod backed up a little bit and put a Hoffa right there, and I'm going to start doing some work to it. But I'll talk more about that during the quick walk around. Okay. I hope that fan isn't too noisy. I'll try to talk over it. So this is what I've got going on right now. I got, if you could see, I've got pretty much every bench in this place, and there's another one back there. I'll take you back there a little later. All cleared off, things put away, everything where it belongs, got some stuff redone. I spent a ton of time getting this place cleaned up because I had it a mess for a long time. But so that's kind of what we got going on. I did a bunch of straightening out over there. I've got some stuff ready to go. Here's Hoffa. I've got some stuff in it that I've got to go through. I'm going to work on that just as soon as I get ready to work on Hoffa, which is going to be here soon, probably about in the next week or so. The only thing that I really need to get cleaned up in here, which I'm not going to be doing any for a while, is my machining area. I've got to get some stuff straightened out there, but I'm going to be getting that straightened out so I can get doing some machining. I've got some machining I need to do. I need to wire in the new phase converter for this mill. My phase converter that I have now was not big enough to run this machine, so I bought a digital phase converter that I can dedicate just for this mill right here so I can run it. And I've got some stuff going on for it. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so there is my 69 C20, and we just barely got started on it, and Copper and I went out to Washington, and when we did, we came back with 2 more rigs, and one of them was Cletus Snow. Like, those of you that have seen my channel know about Cletus Snow. We brought him back from Washington, and we concentrated on it a lot, so this kind of got put on the back burner. So this I'm wanting to get back on. And here's my 46 rat rod, and I have got so much stuff that I've got to do with it, and but I've got parts, I've got all the stuff, I just need to get on it. But here's the star. There's old Hoffa. So, when I was in Washington, well, it's been a little over a year ago. The first time I went out for a trip to Cousin Wayland's, I had gotten a front clip off of a GMC truck that he had, and I brought it home. The same time I brought that burn up GMC that came from Van Vliet's out there in Nebraska. So I've got a new front clip for Hoffa. Hoffa is going to get a facelift. So I'm going to get Hoffa ready to go. And I really thought about just putting the white front clip on there, kind of the way it is. But I think old Hoffa is going to get a little bit of bling. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a down and dirty paint job on him. Now, it's not going to be nothing special. It's going to be single stage, basically tractor paint is what it's going to be. But I think that I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to get the clip off of him. I've got a little bit of stuff to fix on the cab. I've already got rocker panels for it. If you can see right there, there's a little bit of rust on the rocker. But you know, old Cousin Wayland said, he says, oh, that thing is just too rusty. But I tell you what, for where we live, this ain't nothing. This isn't nothing. I mean, even that fender right there, that could be fixed if it wasn't all scrunched right there. So and then I think we're going to take the utility bed off of it and paint it. But I think as far as painting it, if you look at old Hoffa here, the paint scheme is going to be the same. It's going to be basically the blue utility box on it with the black. And I think I'm even going to leave or recreate. If you see what somebody had done at some point in time, if you can see that white stripe, and they even had it here too. But I think I'm going to recreate that. Just use this body line right here to come across and down here. And I'm going to recreate that white stripe. Even here in the front, as you can kind of see, it was in the front at one time. So I think that's what we're going to do. I've got lots of stuff to do. And like I said, I'm ready to go. I've probably felt better than I have in, probably a year better. Like I said, I had some health stuff going on that I had to get straightened out. But I'm doing pretty well and ready to get back with it and get busy on stuff. But right now, it's going to be this rat rod. And I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'll probably make it pretty short, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the clutch mechanism, the clutch trapeze, and get the steering column in here. That's what I'm going to be working on. I've got the pedal assembly in there. I've had it in there for a while, but if I can get this thing to where I can get the clutch figured out and get the steering column figured out, I can pretty much get going on the rest of it. That's what's really been holding me up. And putting this project off to the side, because I put it off to the side for quite a while for some other stuff. But let me get you back on a stand. I'm going to get this all cleaned out, and we're going to get on this 46 rat rod. I don't have a name for this yet, other than just rat rod. But we get into this build. Leave me some comments. We'll see what you guys think we need to name this thing. I'll tell you just a little bit about it. I don't really want to ruin and let you guys know what I'm going to do on the back yet. That'll be in a future video. But this rat rod is made up of several components. So this front portion of the frame is a 72 C20. Okay, so the front cross member A-arms and everything here is an 84 1-ton Chevy. Okay, so we've got frame to about right here. And then if you look, everything in the back of this, I fabricated myself. So I've got 4-link suspension, dually rear end. I will let you guys know this when I get far enough. This is a dash out of a 55 Chevy, and I don't know if it was either a Bel Air or 210 or what, but this is out of a 55 Chevy car, and this is the dash that I'm going to be putting in this rat rod. Let me get it out of the way so I can show you some of this other stuff. So that's a fabricated Watts link that has centered up this rear end. I have redone this rear end, I bet 4 times before I settled on this Watts link that I did right here. I had a regular track bar or panhard on it, and I didn't care for it. I just didn't like the way it traveled. And so that's why I went to this Watts link. And that's actually, will that cover hold that strain? Yes, it will, because that is actually a custom made cover that is made out of 1/4-inch material. And it's on airbags. So like I said, the whole back half of this frame I custom built myself. This whole rat rod started as it was going to be a 10 bolt in the rear with the factory 46 frame, and let me go over here, and it was going to be a Speedway Mustang 2 front clip. But it morphed into this. I started working on it, and a friend of mine says, hey, I've got that 1-ton rear end out of a telephone truck, and I'll give it to you if you use it. And guess what? Here we are. So that's where we are. So this cab is it was titled as a 46 Chevrolet cab, in which that's probably when it actually went up for sale. But this cab was actually built during the war for a war effort. If you look right here, this weld right here is not finished. Okay, and the same thing as the other side. It also had no chrome on it. There was not a stitch of chrome. The handles were Bakelite covered. The filler neck over here had a leather grommet around it. And like I said, it didn't have a stitch of chrome. All the trim was actually blacked out on it. And so this was actually a 45 that was sold in 46. But that's kind of the ins and out about this thing. There's going to be more on this, because this is what I'm going to be working on for a while. I've told myself that this is a year this thing's going to be on the road. I've been working on this, gosh, probably off and on, probably a total of 10 years, maybe a little longer. For those of you that have watched my channel for a while and have watched Waylon Wire's Old Iron and know about the relationship between me and Cousin Waylon, this rat rod build right here is how I got to know Cousin Waylon. I got to watching his videos and commenting and visiting with him. And then Jimmy Hoffa over here came up for sale and said he wanted to sell him. And so I sent him a message. I said, hey, can we talk about Hoffa? And we did. I purchased him, and we've been good friends ever since. We've done lots of stuff together. We've gone to Power Tour. We went to the zip tie, well, not zip tie, the duct tape drags. We've gone to Good Guys. We're just, we're brothers. So any of you that didn't know that, that's the relationship. So I'll get you guys on the stand. I'll get this thing cleaned out of there so I can get going on this, and I'll get you a little closer look in here to see what we got going on. Oh, I didn't talk much about the engine. So the engine's, let's see, it's bored 30 over. It's a 350 bored 30 over. Much more than that. It's got, it's had some head work done to it. I had this engine in a 72 pickup, and it ran pretty good in it. So I hope it does well for this. But it's just pretty much a run-of-the-mill 350 that's built a little bit. That's all it is. So, all right, enough talking. Let's get to going. All right, well, I got this all cleaned out, and this is what we've got going on. So here is my pedal assembly. And I think that was out of a early 70s Chevy truck, maybe even mid 70s. It was when they were still using the clutch rod because I wanted to use the trapeze. So if you look down there, there's the trapeze, or Z-bar, I've heard it called. That's what activates the clutch. I'll show you a little more about that here a little later. But here is the rod that goes down to that Z-bar, which when you depress the clutch, you are moving this bar against that Z-bar and you're activating the clutch. Well, I've got an aftermarket one too that I may use. This, I think if I remember right, came with that pedal assembly, and look at the end of that. There wasn't going to be too many more times using the clutch with that. It was about 1 or 2. But I may repair that. I don't know. This aftermarket bar right here, in which I say aftermarket, it wasn't made by a Chevrolet manufacturer. None of this is really, this is all hodgepodge of Chevrolet parts. Like I said, it's a 72 frame, 84 front cross member. That's a early to mid 70s pedal assembly. Dually rear end out of a 70s utility truck, and the whole built back half of this thing. So that's what I'm up to right now. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make this work. As of right now, I can't get that Z-bar close enough up there to get that in there, and I don't really like the way that aftermarket rod fits. So let me put you on the stand and see if we can get this figured out. I think, well, actually I know, but I'm gonna let you all know. Right down there, I'm gonna have to cut a little more of that out to give room for that rod. So I'm gonna get you guys on a stand, maybe on time lapse, and I'll get some of that cut out, and I'll bring you back. Remember, kids, always wear your safety glasses. Okay. So I've been at this for a while, And I've tried different configurations. I've tried different things with that rod. I've tried the factory rod, and I think I've come up with a solution. The way that rod needs to run. So I looked, and actually when I bought this pedal assembly, it says it was out of a 76 pickup. So with this small 46 cab, the whole pedal assembly is more towards the center of this frame, which this frame, the front of it is basically the same as what the 76 frame would do. The 72 and 76 frames in the front were pretty similar. So if this would have had either a 67 to 72 frame or a 73 to 80, I'm sorry, not frame, but cab, if it would have had a 67 to 72 cab or a 73 to 80 cab, this whole pedal assembly would be more towards the outside of this frame, and this would line up better. So I've got a solution. I tried bolts. Let me see if I can get you guys on a stand here. Okay, so let me bring this. Let me see if I get you guys in there a little tighter. I am hoping you can see. Let me put you down here. Let's try this. Let's try this angle right here. Oop. Hang on for the ride. Okay, now let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think you guys can see that okay. Okay, so as you can see, when that rod comes down here, it's pretty much on the edge of where I've got this cut out. And you can see that my Z-bar trapeze, the bracket's right here. Now I could cut this bracket off and just move it over here, and that probably wouldn't be no problem, but I think I've got an easier solution. I tried a bolt, and that would work fine, but this Z-bar in there where this hole is, this has to rotate. As you're pushing that clutch down and that rod is moving, this needs to be able to swivel with it some. It's going to move just a little bit. And actually, you're not really moving this. What you're doing is you're moving this, and it's causing friction in there. See how I'm keeping that bolt in one spot? But that is moving almost the same thing as if you were turning it inside that hole. So I've got all of these clevis pins. I've got several of these. I keep these around all the time for working on tractors. See, I've even got some smaller ones. See, there's another one. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use this clevis pin, of which I've got to drill this hole out just a little bit. These are 7/16 pins, and that hole I think was originally a 3/8, but it's kind of wallered out, so I think it'll drill out easy. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this pin to that just like that. Look! Oh, look out there! There went the brake pedal. And so what that's going to do is that will put that in there, and this clevis pin is made to swivel on stuff. I mean, it's a pin. That's exactly what it's for. And we're not turning on threads in there. So it should wear a lot easier in here. And you know what? This rig may not last long enough to even worry you about all that, but I want to make sure I can do what I can. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get a drill out here. I'm going to drill a hole in this. I'm going to take this rod over the bench, and then I'm going to weld it to this, or this clevis pin to that rod. And I may even put me a little bracket on there. But that's what I'm going to do. I don't think you guys need to see me drilling a hole, so I'll probably bring you back over to the bench when I'm welding this together. All right, like I told you before, I'm going to take this pin, weld it right here to this rod, and that's going to get me out away enough from that trapeze. And then I think I may put a little bracket, like maybe right in there, give it a little more support. But let's get it welded up. All right, whatever you do, don't look at the pretty little light. All right, I've got a little tack on there. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to square that pin up. With the rod. You know, it probably ain't gonna matter, but I want it to be as square as I can. All right, let's weld it up. All right, folks, I'm going to try to talk to you over the fan. So, it's a good thing I've got several of these Z-bars. I got the pin welded on there, and I have it supported. And I think that's going to be pretty strong. I don't think we're going to have any issues here. Okay, what I didn't like, which, you know, I think for a rat rod, I think I'm just getting too picky. So we had to waller this hole out a little bit. It was wallered out a little bit anyway, but we kind of had to a little bit on the sides to get this pin to fit in there. Okay, so we've got the pin in there. And as you can see, it's pretty sloppy. Well, I didn't like that at all. All right, so today when I was in town, I got actually a couple of them, kind of a couple different ones. I got these steel bushings, and my thought was I was going to put one of those on here, put that through there, weld that. It was going to take really two of them, but the two of them was going to be too big. And this one I didn't like, it was too flimsy. But my thought was to put this on this back side of this Z-bar right here. And then I was going to weld it to it. So did all that. And then I thought, you know what, I got several of the Z-bars. So we're going to do away with that. All right, this is the best Z-bar that I've got. It's actually in pretty good shape. So I did a much better drill with the hole here. I actually drilled it out. So as you can see, we got a little slop. Then I thought, okay, well, that's what I got my bushings for. All right, let me put you on the stand here for a second. Nope, hope you ain't making you all sick. Ooh. Okay, so if you can look down here. All right, then I thought, all right, well, we'll take care of this with this. Okay, and even with that bushing in place, where I can move it around, I still have just a little bit of movement, actually quite a bit. So you know what? I said, heck with this. I should have just done this before. I have a lathe. I'm just going to make a bushing the way I want it. All right, so let's go over to the lathe. Okay, here we are at the lathe, and I had a piece. And if I would have known this last night, I just would have just probably made this last night. I had a piece that was pretty close. I faced it off, put a boring bar in this hole a little bit, and opened it up. And now I've got a pretty good tight hole. Now, all I need to do is cut it to the length to make it tight. and I can weld it right to that bracket. So let me measure this up, and I'll get the parting tool in the lathe here, and we'll cut this off real quick. All right, there's our bushing. Let's, I think it's pretty close, but let's see, it's pretty close to the center. I had already done that once before. I got the camera on there, so I thought maybe I'll show you guys how I got that kind of centered up. Let me tighten it up. All right, now, where's my bluing? Could use a Sharpie, or I could use my blue compound. Let's see what, here's my layout fluid. Let's try it. All right, now we're blue. Okay, so I measured that with the calipers, and it's 0.720, almost 3/4 of an inch. So that's where we want it. I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing back up, and I'll mark it, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it with these calipers. The calipers right here on this edge, just make a scratch mark. There we go. I probably should have let that dry a little bit first, but I got enough of mark I can see it's fine. Okay, now let's get the parting tool. So for those of you that don't know, that's a parting tool right here, and basically that's just a piece of high-speed steel, and it's just going to basically make a saw cut through that little tube there. Just like if it was a saw, we're just going to plunge right into it, just like that. I don't know how many of you are interested in this machining stuff. I am by no means a professional machinist. I've done some of this. I enjoy doing it. This is what I kind of like to do. I really do enjoy it. So I don't know if you guys like watching this kind of stuff or not, but I like doing some of it. It's a good time. Something satisfying about watching chips. And you know, for some people, they think it's just the stupidest thing in the world. To me, I kind of enjoy it. Oh, great. There's the phone's ringing. Must be time to go in the house. I don't know if you all can hear that or not. I mean, it's the first time I had a phone call come in while I've been filming. I'm filming you right now on my phone. I'm sure you all can hear that. It's probably all you can hear. So maybe you did a little bit of dance to that tune. Anybody knows what that tune is, leave me a comment. I have no idea. This is a good way to keep that stuff from flying down in here where you can't get it. Just stick something right through the hole. When it parts off, you'll catch it right on that rod. Now, I don't know why I just didn't do this last night. I have all this stuff. I have the means to do it. I was just trying to get in a hurry. I got a bunch of catching up to do. I'm sure you all are probably tired of hearing me blab. But we're about through there. I could probably go a little faster. I want to push against the parts that cut. So like I said, I am by no means a professional machinist. I actually was a welder by trade for a long time, and being in that industry, you learn how to use some of this equipment. But there you go. There's our bushing. I got a tiny little spot to clean up right there. All right, get this away from there. Let's get this welded on our Z-bar. Okay, now over here at the welding bench, here's the bushing I just made. That's the bushing I bought at the farm store today, which has got a set screw on it. So I'm using that as kind of a fixture to hold this in place. Now I'm going to weld this right on that Z-bar. And that should take up the slop in our rod assembly there. And then I think we'll get it put on the rat rod. All right, so here we are. Okay, hang on. Take our bushing off of here. You know, this rod that I bought the other day, I'm not terribly happy with it. But I was just trying to save some time. You know, if I wanted to take a bunch of time, I would make all this stuff. I did make this bushing, so let's see kind of what goes on here. Oh, look at that. Look, very little movement in that. Very, very little. Now that makes me happy. That'll work out in there. And you know, as I think it's Rat Rod Bob, he says, who cares? It's a rat rod. All right, speaking of rat rod, let's get over to it and let's put the Z-bar in there. Okay. So I've got my rod attached to my trapeze, or Z-bar, everybody likes to call it. And I can't get it squeezed in there. For one thing, this Z-bar here, this other one I'm using is tight. And it doesn't have enough slot for me to angle it to be able to get it in and out of there. So I'm going to take that bracket off. I'm going to put this in, or on that ball, then I'll put that bracket over here on this end. Let me get this on here. This bracket, my gosh, I've been so long working on this thing. I told myself this year, it's got to be getting done. It's got to be getting done, and I want to put it on the road and enjoy it this summer. I think I'm going to enjoy it. Then I might put it for sale on it. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work or not. I may have another problem. Let me see. I didn't pay any attention. This Z-bar or trapeze may be a little longer. Okay, what was that? All right, get the center rubbing on. Come on. All right, let's see if I got it. That should. And you got to turn that a certain way. It's got a flat spot in it. You guys see it? I sure can. Yeah, well, what did you let that happen for? Guess that's what I get for leaving that out, boy. I got a mess to pick up now. Check it out. I don't remember what it is. 1, 2, 3 pickup sticks or something like that. Oh well. I got something I got to pick up later. Yeehaw. Okay, now. All right, as you can see, our C-bar or our trapeze is down there in place. There's our rod. We got the rod up here. This seems to be working pretty good. It is hitting a little bit on this bolt right here, but I can make some adjustment to that. That's not going to be an issue. One thing I'm going to have to do, so this pedal assembly right now is just bolted to that firewall. That's all it's bolted in there at all, and there's not a lot of support there, as you can see. So I'm going to put me a bar from here to here and raise that up just a touch, and that'll give me some support. Then I'm going to start figuring out what I'm going to do with my steering column. That's going to be what I'm doing next, but I'm happy with this Z-bar down here. I think that's going to work fine. I'm glad I used that other one, and I'm glad I went ahead and just made that bushing. I mean, good golly, I've got a lathe. Why didn't I just make it? I mean, that is good and solid now, and it's pushing like it should. It's doing exactly what it should. I'm very happy with it. Okay, so I'm going to cut me a piece, weld that up there. Then I think that we'll get to the column. You know, I'll probably do it off camera, but I got a piece and a spring I got to put down there before I can really try that clutch out, see if it's working all right. And I don't remember, it's been so long. The clutch fork's in there, the clutch is in there. I don't remember, no, I'm sorry, clutch, or the pressure plate's in there, but I don't remember if the clutch pad or the bearing. I don't remember if I put all that stuff in there, because I thought I just kind of mocked this up. So I may have to be taking all that apart, which is really no big issue. I'm just going to unbolt it from the engine and pull it back a little ways and put the pilot bushing in there and do all that. But you guys don't need to see all that. That's all just boring baloney junk. But I'm going to make me a bar for up there and get ready to get all that going and figure out what I'm going to do with the steering column. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that big hole that I cut out there. And I may wait to do all that when I do all this floor stuff here. I may wait. Because if putting that bar up there takes care of that pedal assembly, keeps all the movement out of it, that's probably what I'll do. And it should, if not, it should help it a lot, because most of the support be here. Because when you're pushing down on this clutch or even this brake, what you're doing is you're pulling down on it like that. So if I put something from here to up there, you know, tie something in here, that'll take care of that. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, that light might be just a little bright. Let me see if I can turn it down a little bit. Is that better? Okay. So I've got everything on there to make clutch work, and I just put some springs on it that I had, and as you can see, I put that bar in there to take the pressure of that clutch assembly. So let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna hold the camera at the same time. Hang on. Let me just put you guys down on a prop. Hang on. Okay. All right, ready? There it is. It's going to have a little bit of adjustment, but it looks like it's working. I'm happy with that. Now I can continue on. I don't know if I'm going to put the Hydro Boost brake setup on next, or the steering column. I may do the Hydro Boost next, but I'm hoping to get the Hydro Boost and the steering column in there so you guys can see what I got going on here, and that's probably what I'll do with this video. I'll have this clutch assembly all set up. I'll have the steering column in there, and I'll have the Hydro Boost brake system in there. And once I get that stuff done with this, man, I can really get rolling on this thing, because everything else is a lot of metal fab and just finishing stuff up. I can really get on it, and I want to get this thing kind of a roller moving with brakes and everything, because I need to take it to town and take care of the driveline assembly. So, all right, hang on. Let me get you guys on a stand. I'll probably put you over by Jimmy. There's something I got to talk to you about. All right, so there's the rat rod. I've got you sitting on the hood of Jimmy Hoffa right now. So I need to talk to you guys about something. So I made an executive decision with a little help of my board, and the members of my board being barbed wire, copper wire, and Whelen wire. So I've made a name change to my channel. Some of you would probably know that when you went to try to find my channel, everything that would come up would be Whelen Wire's Old Iron, and you'd have to go way down to the bottom of the list, try to find my stuff, and had all kinds of issues with it. I love Cousin Whelen. Him and I are brothers, and but it wasn't really helping my channel, and I really wanted to do that to, in honor of Whelen. So we made a decision, and I did it today. I went ahead and pushed it through. So I made an official name change to my channel. Now it is going to be Flat Tires and Bailing Wires. And that way I'm still in the Whelen Wire family, in which I will always be. Like I said, Ken, Whelen, we're brothers. We came from the same cloth, I'm sure. I mean, we're just too much alike. I love that man, and I hope he loves me, but we have a good time when we're together. But in the middle of this video, I want to make sure I put that on here, and I'll probably put it right here. I'll put the name of the new channel right here. And you can still find it either way. It's still going to take you there either way. I'm just hoping that with Flat Tires and Bailing Wires, you're going to have a little easier time getting there. And so this will be about halfway through our video. When I got started with this video, we'd been in talks with this. I had talked to Ken out there, and finally we just had a big conference call, and the board of directors decided that was what to do. So that's what we did. And please like, share, and subscribe to Flat Tires and Bailing Wires. That's going to be the new channel. Now, we're going to have way more going on here, and I'm going to remind you guys of this, as we go on. Like I said, I want to probably get the Hydro Boost brake setup in there, and I want to get the steering column in there, and I'll probably end this video, and then we'll go more on that. I'm going to try to stay on this for a while, but I do have stuff going on here with Jimmy that I want to do too, and I'm going to get some of that in there. And I've also got some stuff going on with Cleat of Snow. I got to get it ready to go for Power Tour, and Mrs. Wire is going to be going with me, and so I got to make it a little more comfortable for her. So, which means AC and some better seats. So that's what we're going to be doing. But they're also, I really never totally got that engine problem fixed in that thing. I know something that is going on with it, and I really need to get on it. Last time I used that rig, I blew a power steering line, and I had to come home with no power steering and no power brakes, because that all works through the Hydro Boost system on that, since it's a 1-ton. And so I got to get that thing in here, and I've got to get that power steering hose on just so I can be doing stuff with it. But I've also got to get it in here, and I've got to do some engine work to it. So like I said, now I want you to like, share, and subscribe to Flat Tires and Bailing Wires. That's going to be the name of the new channel, and we will continue more here on the Rat Rod. And also leave in the comments, help me come up with the name of that thing. I tried to come up with a name of that thing when I first started building it several years ago, and I kind of wanted to base it something off of the war, since it was actually built for the war effort, the cab was. But it may be a little different when I get going on the back of it, and then maybe everybody can start. Let's just keep thinking about names. When I get to the back of it, you may decide something different, because I'm going to be doing something different in the back of it. Okay, All right, that's enough for now. I gotta get in the house, get to bed. I got to teach class tomorrow. So I will see you guys probably for a little bit tomorrow, but I got a meeting tomorrow night, so it won't be long. I'll try to be, you know what? I may try to get that Hydro Boost in there. I don't think that'll take very long. Okay. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So this is a Hydro Boost setup. For those of you that don't know, a Hydro Boost kind of takes place of a big vacuum canister to give you power brakes. It actually uses hydraulic pressure from the power steering pump, and it shares the pressure from the power steering pump to operate the brakes and the power steering. So this is what we're getting ready to put on the rat rod, but I've got to modify this bracket. This bracket has a little notch in it, and it matches this notch right here on this. So I may put you guys on time lapse. I'm just going to get this bracket ready to go, cut it out, and then we'll get this mounted up. Okay, so now let's see if all this is going to fit. I don't want it off. Okay. I can feel it. I think it's right. This plate's got a little notch in it right here, kind of key that clocks this 100 feet. Right there. What? Master cylinder is going to be right here, but looks like it'll work. All right, let me get my light, and I'll get in there. And there's a big nut that goes on the back side of that. I like to get in there so we get a big nut. Okay, there's our hole. And if you see right there, that bracket is right next to the hole. So those are actually made, that plate is made to kind of stay away from the firewall. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that open enough, make the nut big enough for the, or make the hole big enough for the nut, and then put it on the plate, and then put the whole thing through there. So I'm just going to open up that hole a little bit, and we'll put it on the plate, and then the nut, I'll show you in a second, has a little flat spot on it. We'll put the flat spot up against there, and that'll keep it from loosening up. Okay, hang on. Let's see what you got. Okay, so this is the big nut that holds that Hydro Boost through that plate. So that plate is made to mount a Hydro Boost setup. As you can see, that nut is flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that hole up, put our flat straight up against that. If you see the keyway right there, we'll put the nut straight up flat on the other side of it, and we'll open up the hole in the firewall, and then we will just take that plate and we will unbolt that plate and put the plate and all on there. So let's get this plate off, and we'll open up that hole a little bit in the firewall. All right, I had it right first time. So we'll go on the rat rod just like that. So let's get this nut on here. Oop. That's off of my other one. I had one kind of for mock-up. This is the one. This is a brand new one. Let's get this one on here. Okay, now let's get this tightened up. Now we want to make sure that we have one of those flats. I hope you all can see it. I didn't even look to see how we were looking. Okay. So I need to make sure that one of these flats on this nut is towards me. Alright, now that's tight. See if I get it a little tighter. That's not quite where we want it. Let's see. Yeah, we need just a little more. Okay, let's go see if it'll fit. All right, let's see if this one fits. Oh, nice. Okay, now let's see if we're right. Fit on my brake pedal. Nice. Nice. Very good. All right, let's bolt this up. Oh, heck, I've got to put you guys on time-lapse. You don't need to watch me do all this. All right, so I've got that all mounted. I don't have the master cylinder on there tied. I just wanted to put the master cylinder on there so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Next, I'm going to get the steering column out. First, I'm going to clean out inside this cab. I've got stuff that doesn't need to be in there now. I'm going to clean that out. And then I'm going to get the steering column out of the box. And I'll probably do an unboxing with you and talk to you guys about that steering column. And I'm hoping it's going to work. I'm hoping I didn't get one that's too long. But we'll talk about that when we get that far. The rod for the Hydro Boost setup went right on the pin on the brake pedal. This is all working out really good. I knew once I got all this clutch stuff figured out that this would probably go easier. Now I'm kind of concerned about the clutch or the steering column, because the steering column I think is going to come about right here. If it can come here and then I can put a joint in it, come over here and go down through there, it'll probably work out. But we're going to have to see. I'm going to probably get the steering column in there and then stop, because I've got to order a set of headers for this. I had a set of headers on this engine and inside this frame, but I took them off to put them on that the red 68 that we call James, and I put them on it. So I'm gonna have to get on Summit. I'm gonna have to look for a set of headers. I think I got a set of headers for a 72 is what I did. But that's what we do. And you know what? I might just put manifolds on this thing. I'm kind of wanting to use what I got, and I think I've got some cast iron manifolds, so that may be what I do. But let me get the stuff picked out inside the cab and some of the tools out here, so we can kind of start fresh. Let's get the steering column out, see if we can at least get a hole in the firewall and get it mounted. Okay, all right, so here's the steering column that I'm going to try to put in this rat rod. So the steering column, if you can see it, is from Speedway Motors. It's actually a short steering column for a 55 Chevy. Not pickup, but like a Bel Air or 210 or something like that. And the reason I did that is because when we get far enough, I've got a dash out of a 55 Chevy that I'm going to integrate inside the cab of that truck. And looking at this, it's basically just kind of a bolt-up deal. It'll just bolt up there to the pedal assembly, and then I have to run down through the firewall. And I'm just hoping it's short enough. That's what I'm afraid of. Because, man, we're going to be awful tight to the engine. It's going to have to come out of the firewall. And as soon as it comes out of the firewall, we're basically going to have to turn with the U-joint, and then we'll probably have to turn back again to get it back straight and into the gearbox. So here it is. I don't know, I've had this column for, gosh, probably 3 or 4 years. So there's the levers for the turn signal and the tilt and the hazards. And so let's go ahead and get this thing out. Y'all hanging on for the ride? All right. Okay. Let's put this box over here. Let's take a look at this bad boy. So it's pretty much your standard column with tilt. It's got your standard Chevrolet harness on it, which that shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to make this work all right. So let's go over and let's see. Yeah. There's for your hazards, there's your turn signal, there's your tilt. So it should go in there kind of like this. This should be up. If you're looking at it, that, yeah, because we definitely want the turn signal switch straight out, which it is right here. So if we have the turn signal switch straight out, that's how we want to orientate this thing in there. So let's take it over the rat rod and let's slide it in there and see what we got. Okay, I got working and I forgot to include you guys. So this is a mounting bracket for that steering column I got. I got it from, I think I got this at a swap meet, but I got it from a 55 guy or a Tri-5 guy. And so what I'm going to do is I've got several of these pieces. This is the piece that goes underneath of the pedal assembly and both steering column in a square body Chevy. So what I'm going to do is I'm welding this piece of flat bar right here, and I got holes in it. I'm going to drill that right there. I got it drilled already. As you can see, let me get you on this table. Okay, I've already tacked it. So that's the idea right there. And then my steering column is going to go through there, and all should work good. But that's what we're planning on. So I'm going to tack this on there and we'll be ready to go. Well, if you guys can hear in the background, today's Sunday and I've got the Nobody show playing over there, and I'll put a link to it down in here somewhere. It's a good interactive deal that a buddy of mine does on Sundays, and it's just, we talk about car stuff, and he does auction stuff, he does old brochure stuff, just all around old car guy stuff. So that's Nobody's show, and I'll put something down here for that, but that's what I'm listening to while I'm going along. I got humming along and I forgot all about you all, so I better get with it here. Let's see if we can get this bracket on here. I still got Nobody's playing back there.
That could be true. Yeah, I think we're pretty clear on that, Kevin.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, so we've got that bracket on there, and that bracket's kind of a saddle right there. So I do have a little piece of rubber, and I'm going to put that piece of rubber in there just so I don't lose it. I want to make sure that we still have that.
All right, guys, it's time for. It's time for this. Let's go. 60 seconds. Whatever this
Yeah,
is, what you're gonna get. Here we go. We're on the timer. 45. Whatever is in here. 20, 25, 15.
Yep.
Give away 60 seconds to go. Almost to the halfway point.
Holding all that stuff kind of sucks.
30 with John. 32 with Wiley. And there's the 30-second mark already on the outside of this deal. 35 with Steve. We're coming along to the 60-second total. It does have your name on it, John. By the matter of fact, it doesn't it?
Okay, I got one in there.
35 with
Now,
Steve.
hopefully I can find
Close to the end. We got a few seconds left. Wiley.
that bolt I just dropped. It's a little bitty one. All right, as you can see, I've got the steering wheel on there, and I still think that that is just way too low. I wish I had my seat. You know, it's like -2 outside, I think, and I really got half a notion to go down in the other building down there and get one of the seats that I'm going to put in this thing, just so I can kind of see. You know, I can move the seat back. That's not going to be a problem. And that's going to be, I don't know. And you know, with it having tilt, I could tilt it up, but I still think that that column needs to go up. I think I'm going to make a new bracket for that collar that goes on that column. And I think I'm going to go up with it. Man, I don't know. I may go get the seat. All right, let me get back with you. All right, so that's the seat that I'm going to be putting in here, and it's nowhere near where it belongs. The brackets in the front need to be cut down, and then the brackets in the back, there isn't any because the car I got them out of had a kind of a hump in the back. Those seats came out of a PT Cruiser. That's what those came out of. And you got to remember that bar I've got going across there, right there. It's one in the back. That'll shove that seat back even further. So I did something else. I kind of looked about my dash because I need so much room for the dash. And I've got, so as I showed you guys, or told you once before, I'm putting a dash out of a 55 Chevy in here. And I was just kind of curious to see how much room I had. So here's the panel out of it, in which I've got that dash actually has a hump in it, so this would kind of sit like that. So I've got about 3 inches I could go up with that column. And I'm going to, because I don't like it down where it's at. I think it's too low. I just think it's too low. And with it having a tilt, I'll be able to move it. And then you can also see how big the steering wheel is. This is a 55 steering wheel. So I went in and got that seat, and man, that was a pain. But there it is. I'm going to go ahead and get this bracket off of here, and I'm going to get my thinker going and see what I'm going to do to raise that up. Okay, so I got this remade, and I raised it up quite a ways. Just about 3 inches, maybe just a little more. Let's go ahead. We'll just, let's see, stick this on there temporarily. We'll stick it on there. That looks much better. But I will tell you, let me see if this is all good in the camera angle. I don't know if you guys can see all this. Yeah, that looks way better. See, that's up much higher. Looking at your guys' view. Let me take it to the other side of the truck. I want to show you something else. Okay, now here we are on the other side. And now that I've got that steering column in there, that's where I want it. That's where it's going to live. And with the way I've got this bracket set up, when I get ready to get done, I can move it in and out, do what I need to do. But what I'm a little concerned about is that steering wheel. I think I'm going to have to buy the aftermarket Mini 55 wheel. As you can see, that's awful big. Then look, my door's going to be, well, you can see my door's going to be right here. Man, that's going to be almost right up against the door. They do make a smaller wheel. Let me see if I can find a tape. I'll measure this one and see what this one is. Okay, all right, let's measure this wheel. So that wheel is 18 inches across. So I think that the mini wheel, I think is 15. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I really wanted to try to go with this factory wheel. But in order to do that, I'd have to cut it down. And you know what? I don't know. I ain't opposed to it because I think this is actually metal bars inside of here. But I don't want to have to do all that. I mean, it may look terrible. But I think I may just buy me the mini size 55 wheel. I think it's 18 inches. Or I'm sorry, this one's 18 inches, but I think it's 15 inches. And that would make it 3 inches smaller altogether. Even if that was only, that would be that much on this side. That would actually work out pretty good. That would probably do all right. Okay, all right, so now, so we got that ready to go. Here is where our steering comes out, in which I'm happy. I can make that work, even with putting headers on this thing. When I went down and got that seat that's going in there, I do have an engine that's got cast iron manifolds on it. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and just put on here. And then, so here's our steering rod going down to our steering box. As you can see, I'm just going to have to put a joint in it and come over this way and probably put a standoff right here and then another joint to come this way. So it'll kind of come bump, bump, and then this way. So this is going to work out fine. And you know what? I think even if I had to, I could probably even make that work. But I think that's going to put that too much of a bind. So what we're going to do is we'll come out of here with a piece of that solid steering. I think they call it D-bar or D-rod. And then come out, have a U-joint in it, have it come this way, and then put a standoff right here up, and then we'll have another U-joint in it and have it coming straight this way. So I think that's going to work fine. But I'm going to end it with this here. I've got to be out of town for almost a week, and so I'm not going to have any more time to get to work on this thing anymore. But that's it. So just remember, I did change my channel name. So it is Flat Tires and Baling Wires. Now, if everybody can, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget about the Creeper giveaway. If you are already subscribed, we are giving away a brand new plastic Creeper. And if you're subscribed and you leave me a comment to this video, we'll get a hold of you and get the Creeper out to you. I just need you to leave me a comment saying that, yes, I'm subscribed, and yes, I would like the Creeper. We will verify your subscription to the channel, and then after that, we'll leave in the comments to get a hold of us, and I'll probably put my email in the description, and that's how we're going to talk back and forth. But so if you're interested in the Creeper, please drop a comment and make sure you're subscribed. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. This video, I had to just get it out. I know I didn't really get nothing really exciting done, but after this, I'll be getting into some exciting stuff. I'll be getting that 55 dash integrated in there. I'm going to start running some plumbing. I'm going to get this thing ready to go. I do need to, at some point in time, get this thing on a trailer because I want to take it to the driveline shop because I don't really quite like how the driveline works out. It's not really quite what I wanted, but the driveline guy could fix it up for me. But if you can, please like, share, and subscribe. Everybody, thank you for watching, and don't forget, the new channel name is Flat Tires and Balin Wires. Thank you all, and thanks for watching.